What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Glory Sports. I'm your host, Korrin Wiggins. Um, just want to thank y'all for supporting everything that we have going on. We have some great community initiatives that we're doing right now. Please head over to forgivingsons.org. Check out what we have going on. If you'd like to contribute, man, it'll be greatly appreciated. Um, just your support is what keeps the kingdom that we're trying to push forward and grow. Your support continues to help develop and keep that. So it is greatly appreciated. We appreciate all the generous support given thus far. It's just extremely humbling just to know that this God always just got you, man. Um, and we're just trying to be His hand and His feet, do our part. Not perfect at all, but striving for perfection though, just to be images of Him, image bearers of Himself, Christ. Just be Christ-like to resemble that, as we all just, as a Christian body, myself in particular, I'm gonna speak for. But I will hope that we're all that should be what we're all striving to do and trying to be. But I digress in that regard. Just appreciate y'all, and I hope the day's been going well. Not gonna be on here too long. Just come on here and just speak from the spirit, check in, and just share a little insight, give a little word up, word up Wednesday. Come in here, share the word. Y'all can put that hashtag in the comments, hashtag word up or hashtag word up Wednesday. And maybe y'all start posting stuff, sharing um what what words you got into today. And then you can maybe share it the next time we come on here and on Wednesday. Just start kind of a little own group challenge, whatever the case may be. But more importantly, shout out to the Forgiving Sons. As I mentioned, go to forgivingsons.org and see the initiatives that we're doing. Also, shout out to you all as the Christian athlete community, the Forgiven Ones. There's just our little hashtag. We're on the God wave, hashtag God wave. But us as a Christian athlete body, we the Forgiven Ones. Not to say everyone else isn't. That's just kind of our little quote unquote camp, So if you want to become a member of the Forgiven Sons, become a Forgiven One, just head over to forgivingsons.org, hit the contact link, and then we can try and get connected. Or you can hit us up on the platforms, see if we can get connected as well, maybe partner, and just fellowship in the ministry. That's just the main thing. So I stopped there, but I wanted to get on here because I've been checking out I don't know if y'all checked out another pod, but been listening to Paul and Silas. I ain't got no music going right now, but I had that in the background the other day. Paul and Silas. Then I heard Pastor preach a sermon on Paul and Silas. So kind of like the Book of Acts has been kind of the thing. You know what I'm saying? But I just was reading Paul and Silas, and when I heard the preacher preach about that situation, the earthquake, and the things that God did in regards to that whole jail situation with the prisoners and everyone involved in that. Leading up to that, though, I've heard like pastors or people preach about Paul, Silas, their relationship. I heard them preach from more of a Paul perspective. I heard it kind of preach from a Silas perspective. I even heard it more recently preached from a jailer perspective. But one thing I haven't really heard them talk too much about, and I'm pretty sure they're pastors out there that have preached about it, but I'm saying me in particular, I ain't heard them really talk to more of how the impact of the girl leading up to it, the initial encounter when they entered the city, how she was essentially a I would say storyteller, or somebody that's supposed to be able to see into the future, and that's how she made a living, right? And you hear the story about Paul getting upset, like, okay, I'm kind of tired of you mocking, like you being annoying, right? Like she's going around saying like these are the ones, like sent in the name of Jesus, like these are the guys, and almost essentially making a joke about it. So Paul was like, all right, man, I'm kind of tired of this, like demon come up out of her. And then instantly you hear in the story how the demon was um, cast out of her, right? So you hear about that, you hear the story. And after that, fast forward, this happens. The, I'll say the leaders of the city, as well as the magistrates, they hear about it. They're like, hold on, like, you cast out that demon of the lady that was making us money, making me profit. Like, she was good where she was at, and you doing what you did. Like, now you messing with my money, right? We all can kind of relate to that. Like, yo, like, I'm getting money, everything good, it's kosher. Um, but you getting in the way, and like, what I'm saying? I'm kind of good until like my money started getting funny. Like you starting to mess with it. So that's what they did. And they got mad, and that's how they end up in jail. They casted them, uh, you know, beat them, put them in the jail, kept them there. And when I read that story, like when you really think about like what I mentioned about the lady and where they had at, how people get like, yo, I'm good as long as my money good, or as long as my stuff is flowing and everything copacetic on my end, like I'm straight. But once something really get in the way of that, like I got a problem. We got problems. And like that resonated with me today to get on here and to talk about what I'm gonna talk about. And I'm gonna talk more so from the like what I gathered from just when like my mindset of the girl and the leaders, like who she was essentially working for and like under, that kept her in that time of working for them and was cool with her being possessed by the demon of that fortune teller, um the divination, for lack of better words, that spirit of divination. um they were cool with her having that because you get my bread, like you making my money doing this, so I'm cool with you doing it. That's where you need to stay. Don't nobody need to mess with that. My box check here, I'm getting my bread. So they were cool with that. But when I really like think about that, that don't really relate to um just like anything else in the Bible. Like it don't relate to life for real. And it just had made me think about what I titled, kind of like what came to mind was Head Start. And being here that we on Glory Sports, um, and being that we talking from a Christian athlete and trying to apply that to like everyday life and walk as a Christian athlete, trying to apply what we taking in biblical principle as well as stories to our lives in athletics. Like this is a good type of I would say story to chop it up about, because when you think about Head Start, we all can kind of relate to that. Like when you say Head Start, a lot of us probably instantly thinking like this a race. Like, when you think about getting a head start, like competitor, growing up back in the day, you only get head starts to people that you really was like, I can catch, bro. I can catch her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I give you a head start because, like, for real, I know I can catch you. Or I know that, if I'm playing you one on one, like I can spot you 5 points if we go into 7 or 6. because I know that you're not gonna score. Because with all due respect, I think you're just that trash, right? We only get head starts to people that we really feel like we can catch or we can beat, pretty much, right? And when you think about that, like they essentially was, um, I wouldn't say giving the girl a head start, but it relates to what I'm talking about because when you're in a position of giving somebody a head start, you think that you can catch up to them, and essentially you thinking that you pretty much got control over the situation. Like I can give you a head start, knowing that I'm already gonna catch you. Meaning in my mind, I already know that I'm gonna win. You feel me? So like it all boils down to I just respect the fact that I know that I can win, and I don't really respect the fact that you really can give me any type of competition. So when you do that, it innately goes with life because think about things that when you out here trying to, I would say, come up, or you think about the work world, or you think about being on a team, it's certain people that you got kind of, I would say, almost animosity towards because you feel like they got a head start, meaning they may have been ranked higher. They may be in the eyes of the coaches like their favorite, or they may have just been somebody that it just kind of got passed on to them. Just like if you're working in the corporate setting, you got the son and daughter of the CEO. It's gonna stay in the family 90% of the time, and a lot of people got a problem with that. But I think the deeper thing is the hot part. I would say the deeper thing is we have to check the heart posture of that person that felt the need to give you the head start, or the person that felt the need to think that they can beat you regardless of the fact that you got the head start, right? Like I'm gonna look at someone again and think that I'm gonna only give you a head start. And granted, this may be a lot deeper than a lot of people be thinking, but I'll be thinking this way sometimes. And I felt the need to talk about it. It just was on me because I just think that way. And like I said, like I feel the need to be able, when you think about it, I feel the need to jokingly give somebody a head start, already knowing that I'm gonna catch them. But the deeper part is have you ever given someone a head start and when they actually won, how you felt about it? You probably was hot, right? Like, I don't know nobody that's cool with giving somebody a head start and cool with them actually winning. As soon as the person win, what we gonna do? Hey, no, bro, I gave him a head start. You cheated. Or no, dog, like, man, no, that was fluke, bro. Race me for real. Like, play me for real now. Let's play from zero. Like, we instantly get defensive. Like, we instantly get in a position like, no, dog, I don't rock with that. Nah, let's play for real now. Now I got a problem with it. And that, to me, translates to what this girl situation was with Paul and Silas. Like, this girl was possessed with that spirit. She had been doing it, I don't know how many years, but she'd been working for them. She'd been working for the leaders in the town, making them money, essentially being their slave, making the money, bringing me the money, and it's all well and good. To them, they cool with it. But that very instance, that very first time that Paul said, "All right, I'm tired of this. Come up out of her, demon," and it got cast out, instantly they had a problem. They wanted to lock him up, put him in bondage, right? Bring him above, bring him before the people to judge him and, beat him down and throw him in there. Like they instantly had a problem with it. And I just say that because if we didn't think of the fact that if somebody can essentially uh, get ahead and we could catch them, we wouldn't have the control that we pretty much desire to keep. Like it all boils down to control in my eyes. And also, in layman's terms, what I'm getting at is, bro, people cool with you doing good, but just not better than them, dog. Like that moment that it seemed like that girl was about to get better and do better, they had a problem, right? Like as long as she was able to work for them and you doing good because you're bringing me my bread. But that moment that it seemed like you about to do better, they turned up. And it's the same thing with the majority of a lot of people. Now you think about some of the people that you encounter, or you think about ball, work, everything. Like how many people really that you can count on, that you can call on, that really want to help you, and when it's really time for you to get that help, they show up. Or it's like you think about probably with ball, you got to be leery of it. Like it's probably gonna be a lot of people that are gonna train you, be willing to help you, show you tape, do all these things. But that moment it seems like you about to take their spot, they probably gonna get shady. Majority of them, but it's some true people too. But that moment that it seemed like you about to take their position, or you about to be doing better, you ain't gonna hear from them, or it's gonna get funny, right? Just like they did. That girl seemed like she was doing better. That girl was, you know, got that demon cast out of her. Oh no, heck no, Paul, you tripping, right? I'm about to start an uproar. um, but I know y'all probably hear me saying a lot of this, but again, what I kind of get from it is that thing in particular is that a lot of people cool with you doing good, but just not better than them. And it's sad to say, but you just really like kind of got to be cognizant of that. Because like when you think about the story, scripture wise, like I ain't gonna read all of it, but yeah. Right. They took and beat and imprisoned them boys for helping that girl. And I think it really was deeper. Like some people would say like that he was they imprisoned him because of his power, that it seemed like, he was being, displaying a different or false type of godliness or power. I mean, one can argue that, but I do argue the fact that I look at it like, yeah, they might have did that, but they had a problem with the fact that he was or she was making the money and Paul was essentially playing with that money. How many of y'all, again, like when you think about it, bro, how many of y'all can really, really think about people that will really, truly, that will be cool with y'all going after the same things, them helping you get it, and not only helping you get it better than them and faster than them. How many people do you feel like cool with that? How many people do you feel like cool with you and them competing for the same position, them helping you get it, and vice versa, and you can sit back and be cool with it? A lot of people heart ain't like that. And if you saying your heart is, I respect you. But I would love to see it in action, because I think it's a lot easier said than done. And I do feel like it's a lot easier said than done. Like a lot of people are cool with supporting, but once it seems like it's like jumping off, it like they fall back. Like it's like the world done got to where they only feel like they want to help people that they feel like really need it. And my thing is, who's to say everybody don't need help? Because everybody needs grace, everybody needs mercy, everybody needs love, everybody needs the the spirit. Like everybody needs that opportunity to receive salvation through Jesus Christ. So to me, everybody needs help. And it's like, who's to say that just because this person's doing well, they don't need help? And I don't know why the world has gotten like that, but that is how it is. You know, if you are jumping off or if you got something going in motion, people start hating on it for some reason, or they start pulling back from it. It's like, dog, like you were just supporting me, but now you're not. Like, dog, we could go get some extra work, but now every time I hit you, you busy. Like, what's up with that? You know? And I'm just here to tell you that with this Paul and Silas situation and the slave girl, that it's bound to happen. That people are going to essentially try and do things that hinder you when it seems like you're starting to get ahead. And when they feel like they gave you that head start, now it seems like you actually about to win. Hold on, let's run that back. You might win this one, but now let's run it back. We're about to compete for real this time. And they want to make it more challenging. They want to make it what they feel like something you've earned and wasn't given. And it's like, I mean, why everything in regards to man got to be earned? Salvation is free, right? Confess in my heart and with my mouth that Jesus is Lord, and I mean you'll be saved. So I mean, when you talk about that, that's the greatest victory of all. Why that one can be free, but again, help and love from my neighbor, that it come with a cost. And when you think about those things, just be cognizant and leery that it's okay when you get in ahead and when you start facing that, I would say, friction or that challenge, to think about this story. Think about, yeah, you know, don't don't be surprised if people that's with you when you starting it or when you on that what they consider below them, when you're in a position that's below them, they give you all the help you can get. But as you start getting higher and growing and going up, start getting smaller and smaller. That circle dwindle down. You got more critics than you got supporters. You got more people telling you what you can't do or how you can't do it, or it's like more friction in regards to the resources you have to get it done. Those things are gonna happen, but it's just to say it all is an opportunity for us to get closer to the Lord, one, but secondly, get closer to individuals that you really get to see their true character, their true heart, their true love for not only the Lord, but for you as the neighbor. You'll really see that. Like how many people willing to give when the individual that's receiving the gifts actually is winning. Like how many people are willing to continue to give and that a lot of people not. Like they want to feel like for some reason that, you know, I helped that person get to where they are. You know, that's a pride problem, I think, that the heart gotta, for a lot of us, has to get rid of, that they did that because of me. I was a part of that. Yeah, you were, but they ain't do none of that because of you. They did all of this because of the Lord, which in fact allowed you to be able to be a resource to them. So that's where all the help came from. It wasn't nothing that we did. It was all that we just was his hands. It was his feet. We just brought it to you and handed it to you, you know? Like that's all it boiled down to. And I think that in regards to progression, growth, and I would say even business and just the nature of community and support. Like that's what it gotta be. Gotta have people who gotta be one um in regard to how we really gonna serve and love one another. Because that's what it boiled down to. Like I can't feel bad that somebody else getting ahead. Like you can want to get ahead too. You can be like, cool, I'm gonna do better in regards to how I can maybe find more resources and, you know, grow. But you gotta be cool with what you got. You gotta be cool with being where you are. I gotta work as hard as I can with what I got right here until God give me something else. Because who knows what you're doing with what you got may be a test in regards to how he feel like you can handle something else. So when I'm in the midst of competing for playing time, or I'm in the midst of trying to prove myself in regards to my teammates and how I perform, just keep that in mind that you know everybody loves a person or loves helping somebody that they feel like they can help, but understand that once it seems like that help is actually being beneficial, you probably will face some friction. You probably will face some people trying to pull back from that. So the trust can't be in the man. The trust got to be in the man. Let's say that again. The trust can't be in man. The trust got to be in the man. All right, because man a fold, man is flesh. Man will get feelings. Man will get emotional. Man will get prideful. Man will get devious, deceitful, corrupt. But the man will stay graceful, loving, kind, caring, compassionate, merciful, all of those things, and continue to bring the abundance of joy, endurance, and things that are necessary to keep us going. So in competition, just know that, think about you. Again, how many people you give a head start to? Who are those people? Well, I give those people a head start to people I feel like I can catch and I can beat. But that moment that they win when they get that head start, no, we got to compete for real now. My mood changed, my mind changed. It's the same thing. That moment you seem like you're getting ahead, and people helped you get ahead, meaning people maybe outside of your immediate circle, your direct family, choose some family. But those individuals, when they see that you're getting ahead, they may have gave you that boost at the beginning. But hold on, now, yeah, you got to work for this now. Nah, I want that too. Nah, I ain't showing up this time. You can do it on your own. Just think about those things. And when you do, just remember this conversation that you're never alone, that you expect it. And when you expect it, you can prepare for it. When you prepare for it, you're ready to endure it. When you endure it, you win. So as always, this is the Glory Sports, Korrin Wiggins. Remember Paul and Silas. Remember the spirit of divination, that slave girl. Understand that I truly think that them leaders and the Majesty's team, they understood not what Paul and Silas did. They understood that, and it wasn't because, one can argue again that it might have been because of the godly power that he had, but I think it was because when they did it, that girl wasn't making that bread for them no more, and they had a problem with that. But we can debate it another day. But no, keep grinding, keep going. As always, faithful, keeping the main thing the main thing. Hey, think about that head start. You get it or you getting it, right? Somebody give you one or you got one. Either way it go, just understand the heart. Understand that if you got one, at some point you're gonna face something. If you gave one, if you're giving help, keep it pure. Understand that when you see that the heart is a wicked thing, it's a vulnerable thing. You will want to be successful and want those things in somebody else, but catch yourself and try and control it. Pray to the Lord to give you the strength to endure and understand that you can be cool and good where you are. Find contentment where you are and help Him be the hands and the feet and the light where you are. Until next time, Korrin Wiggins, peace.